Kitchens can be extremely dangerous places to work, and therefore extra care must be taken to keep yourself and others safe. There are three main factors that should be addressed to improve workstation safety. Firstly, it's important to know how to handle kitchen equipment and tools safely. Many pieces of equipment are dangerous, so it's vital to make sure they are all in good condition, that you're wearing the necessary protective clothing, and that you're cautious when working with them. Second is organization. A proper maintenance schedule should be in place to ensure that equipment is regularly checked and in full working order. Food preparation equipment should be serviced every 2 to 3 months. Lastly, cleanliness with regards to food safety is essential. Make sure that all the equipment you need is clean before you use it, and that it's thoroughly cleaned after you use it. Make sure that floors and workstations are appropriately cleaned. A knife is one of the most useful but also most dangerous tools that you'll use in a kitchen. Therefore, it's imperative that you understand how to properly handle a knife. There are 10 golden rules to knife safety. 1. Knives on the table must be placed flat so the blade is not exposed upwards. 2. Do not allow knives to project over the edge of the table. 3. When carrying a knife, the point must be held downwards. 4. Keep your eye and mind on the job. 5. Use the correct knife for the correct purpose. 6. Always keep your knives sharp. 7. Never leave knives lying in the sink. 8. Wipe the knife with the blade away from your hand. 9. Keep the handle of your knife clean when in use. 10. Do not misuse your knives. There are a number of different knives, each with its own purpose, and you should know each knife and its job in order to work efficiently. The chef's knife is for chopping, slicing, dicing, and cutting. The blade can also be used flat for crushing. A utility knife is a general purpose knife for chopping, slicing, trimming, and dicing most vegetables and meat. Paring knives are used for fine work, such as segmenting oranges, removing eyes from potatoes, trimming and peeling foods. Carving knives have a long, thin blade used to carve roast meat and poultry. A boning knife is used for removing meat from the bone or carcass. The meat cleaver is for tougher cuts and joints of meat. It chops through cartilage, sinew, and bone. Bread knives are for slicing bread, cakes, and fruits, such as tomatoes. Palette knives are used to apply fillings, icing, and finishing baked items. The sharpening steel is used for sharpening knives. In order to hold a knife safely, you need to be able to grip it in the correct way. This grip should be firm and secure and allow you to maneuver the knife easily. Wrap your fingers around the handle of the knife with your index finger placed on the side of the blade, guiding it forward. Place your thumb on the top, blunt side of the knife and squeeze the handle firmly. When cutting, the proper position of the hand holding the food, known as the guiding hand, is pivotal in making sure you don't cut yourself. Your hand should be placed firmly on top of the food, holding it securely against the board. Keep your thumb tucked out of the way and your fingers bent away from the knife so that the blade can only make contact with the back of your hand. Slowly slide the guiding hand backwards as the knife cuts through the food, being sure not to let the food move around too much. By holding the food in this way, you ensure the item being cut cannot move, while you control the size of cut. The sharper the knife you're using, the easier it is to work with. When using a dull knife, it requires more pressure, you have less control, and it takes longer to prepare food. To sharpen a knife, hold the steel firmly at a 45-degree angle and keep your thumb tucked safely out of the way. Holding the knife by the handle, place the bottom of the blade against the top of the steel. Slice the knife along the full length of the steel, working from the bottom of the blade to the tip. Keep the knife at an angle of around 10 degrees against the steel. Do the same with the other side of the knife. 2 or 3 strokes per side are all a good knife should require to become sharp. It's important to clean knives thoroughly to remove the threat of cross-contamination when using them. It's the responsibility of the chef or cook who owns the knives to keep them clean and well maintained. Begin by rinsing the blade thoroughly with warm water to wash away any food debris that might still be on the knife. Then place place the knife carefully into a container. Fill the container with hot water and general purpose detergent. Using a cloth, wipe the blade carefully, being sure to keep your fingers clear of the sharp edge of the knife. Once the knife is clean, dry it using disposable paper towels whilst holding the handle. Never leave a knife lying in the bottom of a sink full of water, as either you or one of your colleagues may cut themselves when they place their hands in the water. Once it's been thoroughly dried, place the knife carefully into an appropriate stand.